News from News 8.
Tonight, a fire ripped through a church on Jefferson Avenue in Rochester. The roof of that church has collapsed, and crews worked for hours to contain it. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us. This scene unfolded at the Jefferson Avenue Seventh-day Adventist Church off of West Main Street. Alex Love has been on the scene talking to leaders of the church and officials with the Rochester Fire Department. Alex, what do we know so far?
It's definitely not the ideal Christmas, Allie. The first calls came out around 6 p.m. reporting smoke coming from the roof of the Jefferson Avenue SDA Church. You can see around me the scene is still active because this fire was massive. It spread throughout the entire building, engulfing most of it, and eventually it took out the roof of the chapel area and the center of the building, causing it to collapse. It took 15 different companies with the Rochester Fire Department to respond and get the scene under control. That's 75% of the city's entire force, on top of 2 companies from the county who came in to supply extra water support. 5,000 gallons of water per minute have been getting hosed to this church, and flames were still burning from it over 3 hours later. There was Christmas service being done in the SDA church earlier today, but we're told by the pastor it was over by 1:30 p.m., and to their knowledge, no one was in the church since then. As the investigation continues, church leaders are counting their blessings. No one inside the church was there or got injured from this, but to see their house of worship go up in flames on Christmas Day has them unsure how they'll go forward from here to build back.
You know, we're just grateful. You know, even in the worst possible situation, there is always something to give God thanks for. And, you know, we are giving God thanks in spite of. You know, my faith is not weakened. You know, I mean, I still maintain that confidence, that trust in a God who can do anything but fail.
Again, firefighters are still looking into the cause of this fire as the investigation continues. We did also speak to the Rochester Fire Chief, who gave us an in-depth breakdown about how they responded to this fire and were able to put it out after fighting the flames for hours. We'll hear from him coming up later in the show. Live in Rochester, Alex Love, News 8.
Alex, thank you. Such a tragic scene on this Christmas Day. The Rochester Fire Department added that when they require a majority of their force to respond to a fire like this one, other departments in the county will move in and monitor all other areas of the city.